Hello, hello, hello. Guys, I
Hello.
am so excited to be doing this live for many reasons. One, I'm always excited to spend some time with my friends and be able to chat about books and such. But also, it marks almost the end of one of the longest months of my life. And so I am excited about that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. It's one of those, as much as we love visiting and being able to chat every day,
Yeah.
we're also all really tired. So we're going to do introductions real fast and then we will chit chat a little bit. And then we'll just kind of see how the night takes us. So I am Maddie. I'm from This Bookish Cottage. If you guys don't know, I am the person who put on Mystery and Mayhem along with these lovely women. And then there's a couple who are not here, sadly, but we still love them almost just as much. So
Almost just as much.
don't tell them that, but it's true. I'm just kidding.
But it's true.
So we
The way
have,
that was said, it was like they're no longer with us. They're still here. They're just not here.
I mean, Mystery and Mayhem.
I
You
mean,
never know.
yeah.
Everybody's
It
going to
could
be
be
alive.
those. Who knows?
You know. So next to me,
Yeah,
I have
that's
Brittany
nice,
from Rescued and Reads. She is a part of the Lassies, and then below me was Wendy. Sorry, she's still present, but she is on the Lassies as well. But Brittany, if you will introduce yourself.
Yes, I am Brittany. My channel is Rescues and Reads. I'm one of the co-hosts for the Lassies, and we're gonna win.
I hope so. That's the goal.
Boom, masterminds.
Okay, and then Wendy, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
My name is Wendy, and I'm from Wendy's Inspired Reads, the other Lassie co-host. And I don't know if we're introducing what we're reading. If I do read, it'll be this that I put off all month, and it's all I really wanted to read. But
starting
it's too
that
long for
next.
that. And if I don't read, it'll just be binging YouTube, basically.
Yeah, fair. I would not judge you whatsoever. So then we have over there in the green, we have Amy, and then down below Brittany, we have Sonia, and they were both on the sleuths. Amy was our team captain for the sleuths, and Sonia was one of our co-hosts. So Amy, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Sure. So I'm Amy Murray from Books with Amy Murray, and I read everything mystery. Love doing the sleuths, and I'm currently reading A Perilous Pal by Laura Bradford, which I'm trying to finish tonight.
Are
And
you
it's the last
liking
book
that
in the
one?
series. Yes.
Because I have that.
It's
There's only
so
2 books in the
good.
series. And I'm
Okay.
really sad.
But I
really
will
like
say,
that
Wendy,
series.
that it went 2 and then it got cut, and the second one ends on a cliffhanger. I just want everybody to be
Aw.
aware because it was devastating for those who found
That
out later.
stinks.
Oh.
Amy's not ready for that.
I'm
No.
sorry.
Good.
She did
Maybe you
say
could just
that
write us a
I've
third
interviewed her
book.
a few times, and she did say there's a possibility that she may write like an independent third book at some point, but she hasn't yet. And so number 2 ends on a cliffhanger, and it was like, so I just like to tell people it's a fantastic series, though.
Have all my mystery people here, have y'all ever read The Reappearance of Rachel Price by
Yes.
Holly Jackson? I just finished that, and it blew me away. Like, this is a YA mystery thriller genre blend, and it was stronger than so many of the adult mystery or thriller books that I read.
Mhm.
I highly recommend, if you've never read that book and you like mysteries, you should read that book.
Yeah.
I have not read it, but it's on my pick
Oh.
12 from Jules. She picked that for me.
It's
Wendy,
so
you will
good.
love it. Actually, all of you guys would love it, but specifically Wendy and Amy Marie, because you guys do read a little more thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany, maybe not, because it does get a little bit it's not creepy, but it's like, I don't know, it's slightly. You might like it.
She's like, say slightly and I'm out.
She's like, I'm a baby. I can't.
And then she goes to him, I'm done.
I'm telling you,
Sonia,
Charlie Brown.
if you-
It's a great pumpkin. Charlie Brown is my threshold.
That's fair. Sonia, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Sonia. I am from Sonia with an I. I do primarily read cozy books, whether they be mystery or more slice of life type books. I was a co-host with The Sleuths with the wonderful Amy Marie. She was, I've had the best time, even though I feel like I've been a little non-present because of graduations and birthdays and things like that. But, senior year, I decided to do a readathon when my boys have senior year to, but I am currently reading, Paul and the Family. It is by Dawn Eastman.
Yes.
The cover itself is so cute. It has a Shih Tzu, which I
It's so
have
cute.
Oh my
a
god.
god dog who's a Shih Tzu who's sassy. And if I'm not going to be listening to a book, I'm probably going to be writing and listening to Taylor Swift because for some reason I can't quit listening to Taylor Swift the last couple of weeks. And she's basically a writer anyway, so that's reading.
What type of cozy is that?
It's it's called the Family Fortune Mystery. So basically the family has a house named Crystal Haven, and they all have, like, one of them is the mom is a tarot reader, the aunt is a pet psychic, and so it has a lot of kind of mysticism sort of things, but it is a little cozy mystery. And I honestly, it was a cover pickup because I love
the
the
cover's
house and the
adorable.
little dog, and gives me Addams Family vibes a bit.
Mhm.
I love it. Okay, and so then last but certainly not least is our ringleader for the masterminds down there. That would be Tiffany, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
My name's Tiffany. I'm from the Beach Bum Bookworm. I really want to say that, Maddie, you did an amazing job with this. This was
Agreed.
so much fun. So much fun. And I do mainly cozy mysteries and romance. I love you too. And I am reading on ebook Bait and Swiss. And then on audio, I'm starting the third in the Baker Street Mysteries by Valerie Burns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting the third one, and so this was such a fun month. Thank you so much for inviting us. It was great.
Oh my gosh, you're so
I
welcome.
loved Bait and Swiss. I'm so excited for you to read it. I loved it so much.
It takes me so long just to get through ebooks because my eyes just get too tired.
I understand.
So we were talking before we went live, and we were talking about how this has been a really fun month. It's been a very long month, and pretty much all of us are like, we love reading, but we would like a break from it. So Brittany's over there. Whenever she popped on, because she was the first one to pop on, and she was building Legos, and I'm like, that sounds like so much fun.
But I mean, to be fair, I'm listening to an audiobook while I'm building the Lego.
That's
so
fair.
I am still reading, but not
That's
with
fair.
my eyeballs.
I took a week off from reading. I was not a good sleuth, and I'm sorry for that. But it's like I binged a series and it was like, I gotta take a break. My eyes need a break.
Sonia, by the way, I know exactly which series you're talking about. It's the Lunar Chronicles, which is fantastic, and everybody needs to read it.
You guys have me intrigued.
Oh, Wendy, you'll like it.
Gosh, so good.
I don't think you'll love it, but I think you'll really like it. Did you see the special edition from Owl Crate?
I did not.
No, I think it was the Bookish Box.
Is it the Bookish Box? It is. You're correct. The Bookish Box. Yeah, look it up. They're fantastic. I was like,
I thought about it, but I was like, I don't love the dust jackets, so I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm.
That's true. I'm not a huge fan of the dust jackets, but everything
but
else
underneath,
about them,
everything else is beautiful, but like the dust jacket, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not one for like special editions, but that's a series that I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of more willing to.
I'm a special edition hoe. I am not gonna lie. I just got the beautiful Fairy Loot Caraval editions.
Yeah.
They're like some of the most beautiful books I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, yeah. So
I love those. Well, we have lots of stuff that's going to be happening. So basically, if you are new to any of my sprints, just know I tend to be a talker because I am a stay-at-home mom, as is Wendy. So we can just get to yammering because we love people. Well, I love people over the internet like this, but I am an introvert. And so, if you guys were with me, I'd be like,
it's like I talk to strangers on the internet all the time, but I go to an event at school and I look at all the parents and I'm like, don't talk to me. Just
don't make eye contact.
We have this same problem. You and I just don't really talk to people hardly at all. Not strangers in the store and ask them what they read or anything like that.
Nope.
Yeah.
My husband literally told me at the last conference I went to, he's like, please don't talk to every stranger. And I was like, well, I told him, I was like, we all got badges this year. And he's like, only talk to the people with badges. Because I will talk to anybody. And as a counselor, like sometimes, like the last time we were in an Uber together, the Uber guy basically told us his whole traumatic life story. And my husband's sitting there like, seriously? Because, but I will. Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. But I love that. I totally get it. I told my husband's a true introvert.
Yeah, I'm like, don't talk to me.
So was mine.
I'm grateful for people like you as an introvert.
Yeah,
It's true.
Same.
It's true.
Leah's the way that you are, and I use her as a buffer at parties so that I don't have to talk.
Yeah, my friend Donna, she's the extrovert of us, and it's awesome. It's great and awful at the same time when it's us two and Piper, and we're all out because Piper is such an extrovert, and so I'm pretty sure people probably think that she is Donna's kid because they have the same personality, and they're over there like, let's go get on adventures, and I was like, no, like stay in your lane, don't talk to people, like stop it. But it's great. Anyways, so we will be chatting some, and I think some of us also like. I do want to read because I want to get points. And by the way, if I do read, I will be reading the Briar Club because this is one of the victim picks. I thought I said vitamin, and I was like, did I? No, I didn't.
At this point, I wouldn't blame you.
No.
Did you hear that Kate Quinn is actually going to be putting out a fantasy novel next year?
What? I did not.
It's like a bookish-based fantasy novel.
Ooh, okay, I'll probably like it.
Yeah, I love Kate Quinn.
I love her writing. And this one, it's very intriguing so far. But I haven't been able to pay super close attention because my brain is just tired. And then, like, I had to spend a while getting all the points together so that we will figure out who's going to be the champion. At the end of
someone asked me today. You said the cutoff's at 12, right? Mm-hmm. So are we not announcing the victim fate today until tomorrow?
So yes, we are. There are 2 cutoffs. So we will be having a victim cutoff. And then after that, which the cutoff has happened for the victim. But it's basically it's going to be 6 hours. You guys can just go as ham as you want to and get as many points in as you want up until midnight. I would love to say that I am going to announce at midnight, but I can almost.
Your bedtime's 9 o'clock. No, you're not going to be. You're not going to be up at 12 o'clock.
No.
I know the majority of this panel won't be up at that time either.
It'll be 1 a.m. for me. So no thanks.
Amy will still probably be awake because it's like, what are you? 2 hours behind me?
Look at her.
No, I'm still asleep by like 9. So it'll be 11 at your time. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So, so you guys won't know until tomorrow. And then also, let me just state that tomorrow is Sunday and I do go to church. So you just don't know when I'm going to announce it. And it's going to be super fun. And we're guys, I'm an idiot who planned this thing literally the week before we leave for church camp. And it's a family camp. So all of us are going.
Oh.
And so, we leave Monday. And it's like, you gave yourself a day. Anywho, let's go ahead and look at some comments. And we are going to talk about a couple of things, just so everyone knows, for this year and next year. I also tried to include all of the colors that I possibly could, but you guys will have the mastermind side during the timer. So everybody's welcome, just so you know. So hello, Betsy. You're so sad that this is last day of the readathon. I've had so much fun and got so much reading done. Thank you, Betsy. I'm so excited that you got to participate in this. It has been an absolute blast.
Well, how many books have you read this month?
Me?
Yeah, do you know?
If I finish this one, it'll be 35.
That's insane.
Wow.
Wendy, how many books did you read and how many did you DNF?
25. I DNF 7. Each of those, I probably read at least 100 pages in each of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Brittany?
that's the most I've ever read.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think I've ever read 35, and I don't want to do it again.
No. No.
Until next year.
Oh, that was wild. Anyways, if anyone else wants to share, feel free. You don't have to though, but
I don't know.
I think I hit
What
about
was the
40,
question?
but somewhat
40,
DNFs,
Amy, go to
and my
bed.
brain really hurts. But I switched all of my music and YouTube listening to audiobooks. Like that's all that I had in my headphones all month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know my count, but it was tremendously higher than usual, and I as well feel like I'm gonna take it like a week long just to watch YouTube videos after this.
Right?
Yes.
Tara was
I'm
like,
so
I
behind
think
on everyone's video.
Tara's like, I think I'm just gonna go outside. I think I just need to go outside.
Like the world exists. This is weird.
Yeah, you all are better than me. I could not. 3 weeks in, and I'm with everything. Just like, oh, I can't read anymore. I cannot.
Well, I have to say this week was the hardest week because we did have the victims every day. And I knew that, of course, I knew that you guys didn't. And so I tried to prepare myself for that, and I still did a terrible job of it because I knew that they were coming and I still forgot. I don't know. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be reading this book now. And then I thought it was a good idea to try and read 3 books a day, which I did. And I enjoyed all of them. But I'm like, who am I? Why did I do this to myself? You have more books every day this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, hello, Sarah. You're very, very welcome. And I hope that you come back next year. It should be hopefully just as much fun. We'll see. You're starting Incidents Around the House. I don't know that one, but I hope you enjoy it. Hello, April. The Birdhouse Rules. Hello. How is everybody? What are you guys reading? Are you reading? I mean, like I said, I really want to try and get some last minute points in, but it's hard. This is going to be hard. Hello,
If we actually get to sprints and we read, I will be finishing a book tonight and so I'll have another book to satisfy. That will be my 17th book for the month.
Wow.
And I did read some, I read 1 book over 600 pages, 2 books over 500 pages, several over 400 pages. So I'm pretty, all of my books, I think, were at least over 300 pages.
Yeah.
So
I blame you, Brittany, because I had to read the Illuminae files, and then I had to read Gemina, which was the second one. So
that's my favorite.
100 pages, and one was 650 pages. And I'm like, I mean, luckily it's not like your regular writing, so it's not actually that many.
Yeah.
But my Lord, those were so good.
I told you.
And nothing else existed apart from those.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, now I'm like, I really wanted to get to the third one. And I was like, do you want to try and do that this month? And I did so bad, but I resisted because I'm pretty sure it's even bigger than those 2. And it's like, I mean, my husband saw me reading, and when he saw me pick up the second one, he was like, all right, so I'm going to be doing dinner, and I'm putting Piper to bed because she is going to go into her little rabbit hole, and she's just going to read this because you get so engrossed. I was on a sprint with, I know Tiffany, I think it was with Amy as well, and I'm so enamored with it, and it was interesting. Loved that book, but I blame you for the massive amount of reading that I got.
I'll take that. I'll take that blame.
April, you're reading Book of Azrael. I'm not really sure how you say that. You're on chapter 8. Are you reading that one for
Sam?
Yes, thank you. I'm like,
hold on. That book.
Names.
I DNF'd that one.
I loved it.
Oh, we can't get mad at what people DNF around here, Wendy. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Tara, hello. Don't boo you. Oh, well. I was going to be nice.
Me and Tara don't have that kind of relationship.
I mean, I feel like I I could get that. I can understand it.
Ever since, listen, y'all, listen. Don't be thinking that Tara is innocent, because she started this whole thing during the Amazing Readathon last year when she was causing some trouble for me as the moderator of the Amazing Readathon. So
I feel like it's a good thing that you and Tara and like Sam weren't on the same team.
We were for Amazing Readathon.
Right. And I'm like, I wonder how that would have been had you guys been on the same team. And poor Tiffany would have probably had her work cut out for her. I could be wrong, but
You got to separate the kids.
Right? Yes. Carmen feels like she survived the Hunger Games. Yep. Amen.
I agree.
Amen. It was wild. And I had other things planned, but I was like, I can't keep up with it all, guys. My brain was done. Hello, Emily. Hello. Thanks for everything, ladies. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Okay, we saw that one. Hello. Mastermind's in the host. Well, mastermind. I don't know where your co-hosts are. I'm just kidding.
They've abandoned ship already. Like,
yeah. I did love when Jules was like I'll be there in spirit or something like that. And Tara's like, oh, are you saying you're the next victim? I was like, well, she's a mastermind. And if she was the victim, then yeah, she probably would be the ghost.
Wasn't almost every single victim they took out, with the exception of like maybe one, a mastermind?
Yeah.
Like they just continuously took out their own.
There was one lassie.
Yeah, we had one lassie, and then I think,
and the rest are mastermind, I think.
Sleuth.
What is that?
Right?
No, because the sleuth was last night, and then you said just kidding.
Yeah.
It was my fault. I did some
that was the funniest thing ever.
I missed some people who had entered in books, because we do an average based upon how many people. And I missed the last page of people, which had 3 more people. So I did it out of 11. So then I had to do it out of 14. And then the sleuth took the round. And so that's how fast Maddie was. I think within just a couple minutes, I was like, oh, I messed up. Hold on. And she'd already put it up. And so I was like, oh my gosh. When I started to see people saying things, I was like, okay. I had to put in there. I was like, look, it was my bad.
I thought it was funny. And I was like, I wasn't going to say nothing.
Looks like you did it on purpose.
Maddie just took the blame. Like everybody was thinking she did that on purpose, just to like incite more chaos.
I mean, but they all knew they weren't allowed to complain, because I already told them I'd dock points. So come at me. I'm just kidding. Just so you guys know, I'm actually a very nice person. But when it comes to this stuff, yeah. Hello.
Competitive.
Do what?
You can be nice and competitive. It's
Yeah.
totally okay.
It's true. It's true. Usually I'm not competitive. It's more just I have so much else going on that I'm like, I can only handle so much. And
yeah.
I mean, I have a 5-year-old. She complains all the time. I'm not going to listen to adults do it. You know what I mean? So that's basically it. You're reading The Night Shift by Alex Finley. I have still not read anything by Alex Finley, and I want to.
Either.
I know. Every time I see him, like, there's so many options. I just haven't read any, and I need to. Hello, you're reading Annette Gallery arc Miss Christie at the Mystery Guild Library by Amanda Chapman. Can't even tell you how good this book is. Oh, you're half of the way through it. It's a 10 out of 5. Okay, that sounds
high praise.
Wow.
That sounds really good. I'll have to look that one up. Reappearance of Rachel Price got you back into mysteries last year. That's awesome. It was so
I mean, I was already a fan of Holly Jackson because I had read her entire Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, and I read 5 Survive. So I had read like all of her backlist, and then I just finished Rachel Price, and I was like, this book is so strong. It's so solid. Like it really is good. And she's actually coming out with her first adult novel later this year, I think. And I'm like, well, if she can do that with a young adult, I can't even imagine what she's going to do with an adult. You know what I mean? Ooh, I hope she goes dark. I'm here for it.
Yeah, that was probably one of the first ones that was like slightly darker than what I'm used to, but it was very well done. Very well done.
I think Sam's starting something up in the Discord again.
Oh gosh, mute her. I'm just kidding. I have Discord up on my other computer behind this one. So if you guys are just looking at my nose the whole time, that's what I'm doing, is reading Discord. Hello, Yvette. Okay, we got another pot stirrer here. That's good. Fishing a feather so black. Finishing. Guys, hold on. Let me start again. Evening. Finishing a feather so black tonight. Also playing Dreamlight Valley. I want to play Dreamlight Valley so bad. I have currently, by currently I mean for like the last year and a half, been playing Wildflower. Yeah, it's about a witch, and she is like in like you farm and stuff. It's cute.
Oh,
Maddie, can I pour you another drink?
I'm literally only drinking water, but oh my gosh.
She's done reading.
Yeah, you would think after this month that I would probably pick up drinking, but I didn't. I managed, guys. I managed.
I was offering to give you a little comfort.
Caffeine.
I didn't say it had to be a boozy drink. I mean, I'll give you a warm beverage, a comforting drink or something.
No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. My brain's just fried. We're all fine. Hello, Ghosty. How are you? How's the puppy?
It's like Ross, and you're going to start saying, I'm fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
Everything's fine. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
Okay, when you were talking about the leather pants the other day, that anytime somebody talks about Friends, that's immediately what pops in my head, and I was like, yeah, leather pants.
Yes.
And I have tried to explain to Cody, sometimes like you'll be doing something and like you'll smack yourself in the face. I'm like, Ross, like, and he's like, I don't get it.
Okay, when you have a Friends memory, I have one too. I was totally addicted to Friends in college. It was like my favorite show. But the Going Commando in Another Man's Fatigues, I think of that one every single time. I'll put on all the clothes. That is the one that sticks with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a good one. I love them. This has been a blast. Well, thank you, Tara. I'm so excited that you guys got to be here. You're finishing up the survival of the fritters. You still got to walk your dog and get a shower. So yeah, okay.
We'll see. Maddie shouldn't be allowed to read comments right now.
I swear it feels like my eyes are like going super cross-eyed, and I'm like,
dying.
I swear I'm normal. I'm not anymore. They're like, you can't read, and you're doing a readathon? You have a book channel? You can't even read a comment? Yep,
Well, I
that's
can't
correct.
speak English and I teach it, so whatever.
Well, thank you. I'm happy you guys have enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun. Oh, well, thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. I love it. Thank you. I mean, keep it coming, but thank you.
Oh, no, stop. No, really, keep going, though.
Yeah, right. If you must. Been such a blessing to you. Oh, Susan, you were such a blessing to all of us. Seriously.
Mhm.
You mean so much to all of us. And I'm just super thankful you were on the Lassies because you killed it. I would love to
We would have
know-
lost.
You what?
We would have lost.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah. I want to know how many books you and Wave read. Because Wave,
Like over 70, and that was halfway through the month that Wade
Yes.
was reading 70.
yeah. So we had one of our members, she was actually on the hit list, but she thought that she could only submit books if it fit like a specific prompt. So like she would only do one prompt at a time. And I was like, why is she only doing like 2 points or 3 points? And then we had a long discussion. She was like, oh, I had so many books that would have fit a lot more prompts, but I just didn't do them. And she's like, I have like 70. So the time that we hit the mastermind super hard, it was all her because she just went in and was like, here's 30 books I didn't put in yet. And then she has still continually every day put in like 4. And I'm like,
Wow.
and they're not like the super long books, but she is a fast reader, obviously, because she had 70 books by the time we had got to that point. It was insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Say it, Amy. Not quite sure, but hello. I'm not. I'm proud of your 11. Hey, be proud of your 11.
I think
Seriously.
that's what I get too, was
Yeah,
about
even if you just read one book, that's amazing. Need a break. Amen. As we all see, I can't even read a comment, so let alone a book. You're on your 30th and trying to slip one more in today, so it's 31 books in 31 days. At this point, I can smell colors and touch sounds. Yep. If that was this just like a goal for yourself? Because why would you do that to yourself? Like, I don't want to just set a goal like that, just, willy-nilly. But I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to scratch my watch or wipe my butt by the end of that. So. No, thanks.
After you finish your current book, it'll be 13 books this month. That's still amazing. This was a fun month. Thank you for all your hard work. You had 17 books. That's awesome, Jen. Look at you. You guys are seriously killing it, every single one of you. After you finish your book tonight, it'll be 12. That's amazing.
Awesome.
Feeling burnt out on reading now and feel ready to take a break and binge all the booktubers videos I didn't watch because I was busy trying to read as much as I could. Same.
I just posted a vlog about Grant's Farm. Go watch.
Ooh, there you go.
Yes. Betsy, I so relate to that comment. Yeah.
I have the opposite problem because I watch, like, at work, I have on BookTube when I'm just doing like mindless things. So I actually got to the end of I got to the end of the internet. Like I cleared my queue and I was like, I don't even know what to do with my life at this moment. Because I'm usually behind. Like, I'm usually significantly behind, and now that my grad school is starting back next week, it'll probably build back up. But it's just like for a couple days, I was like, I don't even know what is life anymore.
Brittany, I always try to comment, and I was so far behind. I commented on someone and said, "Oh my gosh," they'd said they were sick. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hope you feel better." They're like, "That was 3 months ago." And I was like, "Oh my god."
I get really behind when I do Bookmas, because when I do Bookmas, I post a video a day for 25 days. And so, like, I don't watch any BookTube at all during that time because I'm too busy creating the content. And then the beginning of the year content is also pretty wild. And so, like, by February, I'm catching up on things from like October.
Yes.
I'm seeing things go through all the holidays, and the holidays have passed. I'm like, oh, Christmas, I miss it.
BookTube viewing went down this month because the BookTube people were reading.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like,
yeah, I was thinking that.
Because I noticed like a couple of videos for myself. I mean, and I don't really watch it a whole lot, but I was like, ooh, it's like, May has been a slow month. And I realized the same thing I'm going through, people into the school year and, graduations and all of these things. So I get it. But I was like, I wonder if everybody is reading and nobody is watching.
Probably.
So
yeah. I can say I probably watched 4 videos this whole month. And I feel terrible because I'm like, I watch people's videos, but I'm not commenting because I'm just having to rush off and do something else. Or like I'll put it on whenever I'm like doing something and I know like I can't fully focus on an audiobook, but I can follow what you're saying on the video or something. Yeah. And then trying to make a video, like you guys you're going to get one probably tomorrow or Monday, but I'm sitting here editing. Oh my gosh. I'm editing it. And as you can imagine, this is what I'm having to deal with the whole time. It's like they're going to get – if somebody doesn't know me and didn't know we were doing this readathon and they go and watch this video, they're going to be like, how did they give her a platform? Like, how did they should just take her down because she clearly has no idea how to even speak. That's bad. You read 40? What? Okay, 2 books for short story series comprised of 12 books in one DNF. But still, that's amazing. That is so amazing. We're going to go through a couple more comments, and then I'm going to do a little a slide announcement. We're going to get into a sprint, and anyways, we'll get back to that in a second. So you finished 22 books this month. Trisha, my goodness. Last month you read 2. You were just exhausted, but this has been fun. Yes, I can say that this has pushed me more than pretty much anything else has pushed me when it comes to reading, which has been good. How does everyone read this many books? It's wild to you. Are you reading full time? Basically, I'm so confused. Please share this magic. Yeah, some of us work from home or we're stay-at-home moms. I had my sleeping schedule. I had a beautiful circadian rhythm, and that thing went out the window day 1. And so I have been up till like 2 a.m. reading, and then I get up at 6 with Piper. So that's probably why.
Audiobooks. That's the only way to do it.
Audiobooks.
Yeah. I had 2 days I didn't sleep because I stayed up all night reading, and then I just didn't go to bed, and I went the next day and then slept like a bunch and then took another day to do that. So
for Lunar Chronicles.
Yeah, but I work a part-time job, so that's more accessible to me. Not everybody has that luxury.
Yeah.
Well, because
I
like,
work from home. Sorry.
oh, you're fine. I was just gonna say, like, with my kids being home, I can't sit down and stare at a book. So like, I have to do audio, or there would be no reading.
Yeah. Amy, where
I work from home and I do freelance full time, but usually if I'm pretty productive, like if I really stay focused on my work, I can finish maybe in like 7 hours. So sometimes that helps reduce like actual work hours. I don't have a commute. Sometimes I'm doing admin that I can listen to an audiobook during. And I also am not like a parent or caretaker, or like I don't have a lot of other life pressures at this point in my life. So that gives me more free time than a lot of people probably.
Yeah. And it does help, at least for us, because we have a farm now, and I was expecting to not be able to do as much as I was wanting, but we ended up getting rain for like 2 weeks straight. Awful rain.
Yeah.
It
same.
basically washed out our farm. And so at that point, I'm like, well, we can't work outside, and everything's still swampy. So I've just been able to sit inside and read more.
Yeah, our garden is like destroyed.
Yeah.
We had 37 days of continuous rain.
Yeah, it's been
Wow.
absolutely insane.
Ooh.
It's been insane. Okay, so we are going to come back to, well, actually, this was a finishing up of a different comment. So you are going to finish this book for sure tonight, and maybe one more. Ooh, we'll see. My goodness. That's amazing. Okay, so we're going to come back to this one. I do want to say, for everyone who is here, for one, thank you guys so much for spending this last evening with us. I'm excited that we're here because we're at the end, but I'm also like, it's kind of a bittersweet, like more sweet right now because I'm so tired, but a little bitter, but we will be coming back next year, and we will have our amazing Amy leading a team and our amazing Tiffany leading the chaos team as well. Our theme will be the circus, and I will not tell you any more details other than that, except for I am moving the readathon. So we are going to be doing this in April instead of May because I learned.
Because of school?
No, I learned from my own dumb mistake that you shouldn't end a readathon and give yourself a day before you leave to church camp.
Oh.
Because this
I was
happened
going to
last
say
year.
because of all the teachers and the chaos with school and ending and all the things.
Yeah. Well, and I thought about doing it in the summer, but I know for us, because we're farmers and we do flower farming, it's like, no, summer is a terrible time for us. So we're just going to move it back a month. So you guys only have to wait 11 months now. And so then we will have that. But we will also be doing, if you guys get really bored and you need a little pick-me-up halfway through in November, we will be doing our turkeys and hunter readathon. And it's called the one with the turkey, and the hunter and the turkey. I think it is. Yeah. So we'll be doing that again. It's a week-long one. It's really fun, very laid back, just like this one. Do you have something to say?
Can I share a readathon that we are doing?
Is it the Scooby one?
We're doing the Scooby-Doo in September.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of a way to. I don't know. I did it around my birthday last year because it was my 50th birthday, and I wanted to do something fun. And I didn't think in a million years that a bunch of people. It was just incredible. I really want to do it again. If my lovely Daphne and my lovely Scooby, because I think it's going to be over here. And Velma, and anybody can participate in that. And it's not competitive. It's just kind of do it your own pace or whatever. But it is really a lot of fun just to tie all that nostalgia in. And just make it more like a game. I have a few changes. I need to talk to my buddies, and but yes, in September, definitely, if you want to do a readathon, I would welcome anyone. I'm debating how long, for sure, but it's definitely going to happen.
That's going to be so much fun. Yeah, I got to kind of participate last year, but I don't remember what was going on. Something was going on that made it to where I could only like slightly participate, but I had so much fun whenever I even was just dabbling my toes in it. It was so fun. Okay, so now that we got all that out of the way, we are going to go to our first sprint. That way the two leaders on the end and I can discuss the fate of our last victim, figure out what's going on with her, and then we will come back and we will announce from there whether she has survived or not, and then we will give you guys slightly a point update. That way you know whether you need to hightail it to a book or if you can take the night off. All right, so let me get this going. Hold on.
What's the book again that you said you loved this month? I want to put it on before I forget. The one that you couldn't stop reading.
A Flicker in the Dark?
No,
It's a different one.
it was
with
the series.
Brittany? Because of
Yeah.
Brittany? Oh, The Illuminate.
Okay.
ILLUM. Nope, I'm not even going to try. I'm too tired.
I found it. I just didn't want to forget.
Yeah, it's the one that has like those super interesting pages.
Okay.
Okay, which makes no sense to anybody if you haven't seen it. Okay, let me get this going. Dun, 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 dun. All right, and I'm going to actually change that to like this. And okay, we will be going for 30 minutes. And when we get back, we will discuss the fate of our friend. So let me get that going, and we will see you guys in 30.
Happy reading.
Hello? Did that startle you? Sorry, I tried to do something that was like, oh, whimsical, but it's still quite terrifying if you're not prepared for it. So how did that sprint go for everybody? Did anyone do any reading? I know that Amy and Tiffany didn't.
No.
I was listening to a book.
Well, there you go.
I took a walk because I haven't been able to walk in almost a week.
Yeah.
And I finally feel like I hurt my hip, and I finally felt like I could actually do a little bit. So
Yeah,
I did that.
was it a good walk?
It was a good walk. It wasn't my normal. I only did about a fourth of it, but it was. I can't not walk. It's kind of like mental cobwebs. And it's like, oh, I gotta get out there. So I hobbled, but
I love it. I love that you and Amy have the same bug.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things.
A lot of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I was gonna say it usually has a theme to it.
Look at my little R2's coming along.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, cute.
I love it. So, well, what did Wendy do?
Just got my kids ready and then watched YouTube.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You said that's what you were gonna do, so you stuck to it.
Wendy, how old are your kiddos?
10, 7, and 3. All
You
girls.
Well, we it was almost down to the wire. We got it figured up. So I'm pulling it up. Hold on, it's on the other computer. So this last round, the lassies had 43%. The sleuths had 40.64%. And the masterminds had 50.7%. So that means masterminds succeeded. They took out a sleuth.
Sleuth.
Oh no!
We're sorry. We failed.
Look at that
With the first
violence. Look at that
Wow.
violence.
Well, I do hate to do this to the sleuths, but that means that until midnight, your bonus points for your cover can only apply to black covers and not green covers. So I'll have to go change that because now you guys are in mourning because you have officially lost a sleuth. Hey guys, it's okay. We lost Leah. And then we lost a lot of masterminds.
Yeah.
We can still read nature books, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
So it's
Okay.
just the color of the cover is the only thing that changes. Yeah.
A green book.
I know. And when I was thinking about this earlier, I was like, man, if they win, that's like the last couple of
There's
hours.
nature.
Yeah, at least you'll still get nature. But
No, Tara, it is not a trick. I did not do bad math. She's in the comments like, is this a trick? No.
yeah, no, I don't believe it.
It wasn't a trick to begin with the first time. Tiffany just can't math. The math was not mathing.
Yeah, no, this time it's
I
true.
missed a page than I couldn't math. It was more that I forgot the last page.
To be fair, Tiffany, Maddie, and I have been doing so much, more math than we probably do in a year, in the last few days.
Yes.
At least for me.
Yeah, I've definitely started figuring out okay, this is how we're going to do things differently next year. So that way it's we're not only having to read, it's also been 15 rounds of figuring out how many points and then averaging, and it's so much. And we have to check all y'all's points. Guys, come on. We're grown adults. Stop getting it wrong.
Maddie, I will say that you were very generous with your willingness to go back in and fix that stuff, because in other readathons that I've been part of, and even the amazing readathon last time, we just would if you messed up, you messed up. That was just the end of it. So.
Yeah. I will probably have to instate that next year, because I didn't state that this year because I wasn't expecting it to get as big as it did. And so, last year we only had 70 people, and I was like, it's super easy to check, especially when it's divided up between 3 different people. But this grew a lot faster and bigger than I was expecting. So next year, it probably is just you're on your own, and I hope you pay attention, but we can only do so much. So
How many was there this year?
how many? So let me see. So lassies had 46 people participate. Sleuths had 72 people participate, and Masterminds had 64 people participate. So math.
It's over 3 times last year's.
I mean, just your team alone, Sleuths, was more than last year's. So 182 people.
It was a lot of math.
Yeah. So, do you guys want to know where we stand so far? I'm not going to tell averages, but I will tell you. Do we want to know, or do you guys want to keep it a secret? Wendy's like, yes, of course I want to know.
I'm still not going to read.
Wendy has no chill. Wendy has no chill. Like she
I mean,
she
you could
wants to
tell
know.
me, but I'm not going to read a book tonight anyways. It's all on you
I need to
guys.
know if I need to binge my black book or not.
Okay. So, and remember, this is an average-based thing. So, put that in perspective. Lassies currently have 19,107 points.
Wow.
Sleuths have 21,160 points. And the Masterminds have 18,975 points. So this is seriously close. And we have all already have entries from after we cut off already.
Yep.
So that's not even where it officially stands, if that makes sense. So that was just after this last round. And so it is going to be super close. Super, super close. So there we go. I'm nervous, but I'm also quite excited. Okay, so obviously none of us got any reading done, so we don't have to talk about our books. Well, Brittany, you did. How was your book?
It's getting to some good stuff. We're getting to the end, so things are ramping up.
There you go. That's awesome. Sorry, we have the ticks in here because they were taking over our bathroom. Like, our bathroom is awful because they all got out of the coop, and so they just go everywhere. So anyways. So Sharon, this is where we left off earlier. You read 32 books and 2 short story collections. You finished the one you're working on tonight. Yes, that's amazing. That is amazing. Sarah, you have cut your reading off knowing if I don't, I will stay up reading and struggle getting up at 3 a.m. tomorrow. So we'll probably work on writing my book. Hey, that is also just as wonderful.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
one day we'll be reading the book. That's exciting. Hello. So sorry you're joining late. Hey, that's okay. At least you joined. Had to give your son some dinner. You know, priorities. I get it. Currently reading The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden.
That's a fun one.
I was going to say, somebody had just talked about The Boyfriend and how much they enjoyed that.
That was a good
Brittany,
one.
you said something rude to Tara, which is...
it's anything I say to Tara is rude, so just take that as a blanket statement.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
I've probably said something else rude to her since I said whatever that was rude to her.
Okay, when I saw this comment earlier, I was like, this makes so much sense, because I was like, you were so present on Discord. I was kind of shocked that you weren't over here, and I should have put 2 and 2 together because of the bird. So just to clarify, I am AJ Bird on Discord. She is on the Lassies, and her team, or her name is Andrea, probably Andrea. And since your channel name isn't clear, that's perfectly fine. I love it.
So is your channel name on YouTube The Birdhouse? Is that what she's saying?
I'm thinking The Birdhouse Rules. Yeah.
I'll look her up.
Yeah. Mercedes, hello. Thanks for all the effort this month. You're so welcome. You're not sure how you guys did 30. Yeah, well, that's insane. You finished 12 books and your brain is fried. Normally do 5 to 6 books, so this was normal. Yeah, I love it. And hey, reading more than usual, that's apparently to be expected during readathons. I wasn't prepared. We don't need to roast masterminds. That's not true.
No, we do. Of course we do.
Not true at all.
I mean, I disagree.
Totally thought it was planned. That's hysterical. Yeah, talking about whenever I was like, just kidding. This loose actually won. That was seriously so funny. My stomach dropped, but then I was like, oh, this will be fun. And I promise tomorrow I will not do that, because that would be the worst time to do something like that. So I won't do it.
It was really my fault. I'm so sorry. It was my bad.
Causing chaos everywhere she goes.
What's that? Yeah, I mean,
I
it was
said
all part of
causing
my
chaos.
master plan, but I'm gonna go with it was a math mistake. But
I love it. Betsy says she agrees with everyone. I feel so burnt out on reading, and I'm ready to binge all the booktuber videos I didn't watch because I was too busy reading all the books I could. Same.
Same.
You're Carmen, are you really? Oh my gosh. Okay, so she's reading Marvelous by Molly Greeley. Guys, this was one, like, I should have put it on my top reads because this book is fantastic. It is absolutely amazing. So if you guys haven't watched my video where I actually talk about this one, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you about it real quick. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, except it is a retelling of the actual historical people that Beauty and the Beast is based off of. And it is so good. I did not think I could love a book as much as I love that book. And I have thought about it every day since I've read it. It's so good. Phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
If you love Beauty and the Beast, do not find out why the original one was written, because it's a little.
It is, and that is what this book talks about. But she does it in a.
Like young women for older.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The grooming of young women.
Okay, no, it's not that. That's not how she goes.
Yeah, that's kind of.
She does it, and yeah, there's no grooming.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the purpose it was written. That I did a research thing, and then I love that movie, and now I'm kind of like,
yeah.
A lot of fairy tales that we know and love are based on a lot darker things.
Yeah.
Like Sleeping Beauty.
Sure. Yes, all of it. Which, if you haven't read Thornhedge,
I've read Thornhedge.
You would like a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. Go read that one. It won't get you points because I think it's only like 116 pages or something like that. But oh my gosh, well, Carmen, I want to know what you think. I'm pretty sure we're not on the same team. But if you finish it before Discord is, because I will delete the Discord, just so you guys know, because that way we'll start afresh next year. But I do want to know what you think about it.
Yes.
So I have a question about the circus.
About what?
All right. The circus, you said there was going to be a circus theme. All right. Are we dressing up?
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. You have a year. No, you have 11 months to prepare for this.
She's going to prepare all year.
No, I do not have to. I
don't think she needs any help.
I got this.
Yes. Yeah, and I can share more details with you guys behind the scenes, but other stuff I have to keep a secret. Hello, you'll be reading A Natural History of Dragons tonight. That sounds really good. Oh my gosh, yes. Pivot! Yes, I love it. Hi, Fern.
And then when you say pivot, though, I think about that.
That's true.
That's what comes to my mind.
She's saying hello to everybody. Maddie, Brittany, Amy, Wendy, Sonia, and Tiffany. Hope y'all are well. I hope you are well.
Hi, Christina.
And as always, Christina reminds us, remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check the laundry, take meds, stretch, and show some love. Also, make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. I love it.
I need her to be there like for all my videos, reminding people to like and subscribe.
Right?
Yes.
Hydrating.
If you stretch, don't stretch a certain way.
She's fantastic. I love it. I feel like I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
I agree. I haven't heard her say that on a sprint in a while.
Yeah, I saw her on Tiffany's, I think last time or maybe the time before, and I was like, oh my gosh, Christina. So anyways, hello. Finishing up The Missing Half. Ooh, I'm going to be reading that this next month.
I'm starting that tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm starting that for the Amazing Readathon.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're doing it for the Sleep When I'm Dead. I think that's the one. The Sleep When I'm Dead book club. I'm pretty sure that's the book they're reading. I know one of the book clubs is reading it, but I'm in so many I can't quite remember which one's which. Anyway, so we'll be reading that, but you're not loving it, and that's sad. But you have less than 60 pages left, so your goal is to finish it by the end of the night. I mean, yeah, push through, but at the same time, that stinks. I hate whenever I'm not enjoying a book and I have to continue to read it.
Yeah.
We would all just tell you to DNF it. But
Amy, you had mentioned in your video that you had a few that you had to push through.
Yeah, I've had quite a few DNFs. I'm like, no, not worth it. Not worth the reading slumps.
It's my Patreon book club pick, so like I gotta. I hope I love it because I liked her last one, and it's so like I'm hoping that I love it.
Yeah.
I thought it was decent, but it wasn't my favorite. I liked her first better.
I wish Wendy would feel like she could DNF. Oh, I meant. Never mind. Sorry. Wendy, how many books did you DNF this month? I actually
7.
DNF more than I normally do.
And I would have DNF'd more than 7 if I wasn't in a competition.
Is that normal for you, or is that you just had a bad month?
No, because since we were reading so many,
Yeah.
you know, the averages
that makes sense.
were bumped up.
Yeah.
I would say I probably DNF maybe 1 to 2 a month.
Gotcha.
Did any of you choose a book that was like outside of your box or a normal for you to read during this? I'm curious to hear if anybody did that, like with the ghost suggestions, the victim suggestions, you know, if anybody did that.
I read The September House and
Grady Hendrix.
How'd that go?
No, that's Carissa Orlando. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking How to Sell a House. Sorry, my bad.
And I actually, oddly enough, I really liked it. And I was telling Wendy, like, you need to read it. You need to read it. It's like, it's kind of gross, you know, because it talks about like bloody walls and stuff. And then like the last 30 pages, it got real gross. And I was like, oh, well.
The main character in that is just like so casual about everything that goes on in her house. She's like, oh, the walls started dripping blood again.
Yeah. Oh, there's a ghost in front of us. No, just look at them.
As they do.
She's like, I'm not even going to bother cleaning this up because it's just going to come back until it's October.
Happen again.
Yes. Oh, there's that kid with the missing limb dragging itself all over the house. Oh, yeah. How annoying.
I can't tell you how many missing limbs I have in my house.
Yeah,
don't you guys? Like,
I was talking about possibly reading that, and a couple of people in the comments were like, Wendy, no, don't read it. You will not like that book.
Don't. Yeah.
Did you read a review that said something like, this was gross?
Yes. That was literally a review that said this was gross. Well, no, they said, well, that was gross. And that was all they put.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think for me, I had also read Horror Store, which that one is by Grady Hendrix. And that was the first Grady Hendrix I had ever read. And I was very excited about it because I loved that concept. And I absolutely hated the book. I thought that it was super boring. I don't think it didn't make any sense. It was, I just didn't like it. And so I think for me, because I had different expectations of what I thought a horror book should be, The September House actually kind of fit that a little bit more. And so I think that made me like it more, even though I don't like horror. So when I picked it up,
Horror Store was one of his first books. I actually read My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I am not a big horror person, and I actually really enjoyed that, except the chapter Beds Are Burning. That's all I got to say.
I loved the Southern Book Club Guide to Slay. Was really, really strong. The Haunted House, I thought that was interesting. I actually DNF'd his newest release though, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. That was not my vibe, but I know a lot of people really loved it. So I think he might just be one of those authors that's kind of like some are going to be hits and some are going to be misses. I haven't read Horror Store, so I can't speak on that one. I haven't read that one yet.
If you ever have a chance to go see him live, though, to see him in a book, he entertains.
I'm sure he does.
He does not just talk. He is so incredibly entertaining. Laura from Laura Reads is like a huge fan. So
what I really love about him, because I mean, I can just kind of tell in his writing because he does such a really good blend of comedy with his horror, but also blending in really difficult topics as well. Like there's usually something.
He's very
funny. There's like a really interesting blend in a lot of his stories that I appreciate. And the Southern Book Club's Guide was seriously feminist. Like it was all about the power of women and like domestic housewives and stuff like that, and how these badass women are just going to go and they're going to take down this vampire. And I was just like, it was really good. I recommend.
My husband loved that book, and so it's very high on my TBR because of him. Yeah.
And My Best Friend's Exorcism was all about the importance of friendship and how dear it is and what you would do for your friends with the hardest 80s vibes. And if you're in my age area, and you know, they're mentioning all the things that are bringing you back. It was very good. Just Beds Are Burning. That one, not good.
Okay. Did anyone else read a book they weren't expecting to?
I did for reading projects, not like for the readathon, but like I have like 5 million reading projects going on right now. And so one of the books that I read this is a total spoiler for things that are upcoming, but like a book that I read that I loved and I was not expecting to was a book called Beasts of Extraordinary Circumstance by Ruth Emmy Lang. It was like released in 2016 or 2017. And it was just like this really beautiful, whimsical, magical story. And
You're saying all my favorite
and
words.
see, that's the opposite of what I normally read, but I had to read it for this project. But I finished that book and I was just like, my heart grew 2 sizes after reading that book. I just thought it was so hard. It was like a hug. It was like a hug in a book.
Yeah. I love that.
Kendall. Okay.
It was so good.
I read The Home is Where the Bodies Are by
Yeah.
Geneva Rose. It is not my typical read. I thought it was good. It definitely kept me engaged. I think it's supposed to be a thriller. I didn't find it all that thrilling, but I did find it, like, I was curious enough to know what happened throughout the story.
I did not like that book.
Did not
It
like
was
it.
okay.
I know when Amy was like, I really liked this book, I was like, oh, weird.
Oh.
Because we usually line
I
up
think
pretty close. I've noticed that if she recommends a thriller and I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, we're on the same page with this. So I was quite shocked, honestly, whenever I saw that you recommended Home is Where the Bodies Are, because I was like, yeah, I didn't like it. Wendy and I were talking about it. We're like, just get through it.
Yeah, it was just like middle of the road.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but like nothing special. But
I thought it was a wee bit like I figured it out
same.
way
I did
before.
too.
But I enjoyed it enough that it was like I wanted to read it.
Yeah.
I kept going, and with everything else around me that's like, oh, read me,
Yeah.
more points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like I was still reading it, so I did enjoy it, and it's totally not my box. So
For me, funny enough, my Oxford Year, I feel like
Yes.
is not something I would pick up normally.
Yes.
Like I would have eventually because it's Leah's one of her favorites, but like the cover doesn't grab me, the description doesn't grab me. And like I don't know what it is, but like when a book is super, what's the word? Like they talk really smart.
Pretentious?
Intellectual.
I check out almost immediately. But I pushed through for Leah and I ended up really loving it. And I'm glad I did because there was so much depth to it.
Yeah.
But that's not something that I would typically pick up. On
No.
another note,
would you call it academic? Would you say it was more
Yes.
academic?
yeah, because it's my Oxford
Okay.
year, so she's going to that school. But this has nothing to do with the picks. But I also read horror books for my video for Jules this month too. So
Oh yeah.
that was also out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah, I do I'm doing a vlog which you guys will see, and I actually read Oxford Year in it. And I was like, oh, this will be, interesting because I'm going to be like, okay, well, this was like a terrible time. And then you just see me coming on the camera and my eyes are all like puffy and red and I have like all the tears. And I was like, I didn't know I was going to cry on this one, but it was so good. And like, it made me love my husband more. It was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I did not expect to have so many feelings
Yes.
with that book, but it was
So much.
It was phenomenal. I think you said that when Leah read it the first time, she was like, it's not that great. But then she kept thinking about it.
Mhm.
And then she's like, I actually think that this was a pretty close to 5-star, if not a 5-star read. And I'm kind of there because I have thought about it, which I only read like a week ago, but I have thought about it so many times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I still get all those feelings after, for however long I haven't read it. So yeah, it was so good. So good.
I feel like you read a lot of books out of your comfort zone, Maddie. Like you were reading a lot of victim books.
Yes, because you get 15 points. So I'm like, I can be a kind of a lazy reader because I also don't have to figure out what I'm going to read, because it's already there for you. But also I wanted to push myself because I do explain that I'm very much like the everything bagel seasoning, where I do like to read just about anything and everything. Mm-hmm. And this really did hone it in where I do prefer cozies, mysteries, thrillers. Those are like my top of the line when I go book hunting. Those are the ones I'm going to really lean towards. But I also really love fantasy, in particular. If it has humor in it, like Hello Stranger. Loved Hello Stranger.
Oh yeah, I loved that one.
That was a very good one.
That was a surprise for me.
Same. I thought it was going to be like, oh, that's cute. But no,
Yeah.
it was a 5-star read for me. And I was not,
It's really
because I hate
good.
romance. So, and Tiffany's like, how can you hate romance?
Catherine Center is also somebody, if you ever get a chance to see, she's hilarious. She is so
I
funny.
believe it. With her writing, it's like she has to be funny just in general.
She's very witty.
Yeah. Amy, did you read anything?
The Resurrectionist was a little outside my normal because I don't read a lot of historical.
Yeah.
Even though it was still like a mystery and it was a little more romance, like more of a romantic bent, I would say.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite, but then I would say the Sugar Shack, which mystery series, was a little outside my norm because it's very supernatural and paranormal.
Oh, yeah.
And I usually stick to like just regular real life kind of like mysteries.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed that. And I think I read 3 of those this month.
Okay.
So
I had seen you
really
said you read like 3 in a series, and I couldn't remember which one you said, but I didn't realize it was that one.
It was a different one. I think I was talking about the Georgia Peach mystery series. And I think that was just something else.
You like that?
I loved it. Because I really binged series this month, which I normally don't do. I usually just hop around a bunch, and it was really nice actually to just like listen or read the same like 3 books in a row. I was like, maybe I'm gonna be a binge reader. We'll see.
That's my favorite way to read series because I feel like I forget things.
Yeah.
Yeah, come to the dark side, Amy. I do the same thing.
I really enjoyed it.
Come on over. I'll make you some tea.
That's how I was with class reunions. I loved that one, and then I read Midnight Snacks or Murder as well. And then I literally, guys, I loved both of those books so stinking much that I was like, screw it, I'm getting the physicals. And so I found the physicals at a thrift store, but they were 2 different sizes. So I was like, can't do this. So I'm going to order one off of Amazon and see what size it is, and then I'll base off of that one.
I
And
hate
so I
when
got
they're
the 3rd one, and it'll be here tomorrow. And you better believe Girl's getting out of her reading slump because I'm going to read it. Because I love that series.
Did you said you read Midnight Snacks or Murder? Did you read that one? Oh my gosh, all the biddies in the church bus.
Oh my
I
goodness.
almost wet myself. I was laughing so hard.
And then the man in
And
the
then
middle.
back and reread it. Yes. And they start eating rum balls, and then they get
It was good.
I laughed so hard. And actually, Maddie, once you finish the series, I interviewed Libby Klein, and you have to go and watch the interview because she's just as funny in person. Like I told her in the interview, I'm like, I'm not kidding. If you ever go on a stand-up tour, you need to let me know because she is that just like off the wall funny. She's
so
hysterical.
It's so good.
She's so funny.
It's so bad.
There's one that's coming up that you haven't read yet, but Aunt Jenny decides that she's going to wear all these T-shirts because she's kind of in a little competition, and the stuff on her shirt.
I can only imagine.
I can't wait.
She's so good. I love her.
She is amazing. I'm glad she's not my auntie. But
I'm like, I kind of want to be her. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She's so funny.
I don't want to have to take care of her, but Piper can take care of me, and I'll be that crazy lady.
If you talk to my boys, they would probably tell you I am.
I could. Tiffany, did you read anything?
I didn't read too much outside of my comfort zone, but I added up the books I read. I read 47 books this month. And 2, which is insane. That's probably the most I've ever, And the other thing, though, is I did read a couple of, like, when the ghosts started taking rules. Like, I read an old 80s Nancy Drew mystery, one of the Nancy Drew, like, files, like the one that, those were the later ones, And I haven't read those since, I was,
Nancy Drew forever.
that was really fun.
I've never read Nancy.
And so I did more of that. And I read another Campground from a Cozy Mystery series. Just stuff I wasn't planning on picking up, but not too much outside of my usual realm of things. Only because I just know myself so well. And it's not that I don't want to be open-minded, but I also know that if it's just not something I'm going to not like, there's not a sense in picking it up. I'm not the right audience for it. So,
I think something that, and I'm not saying this in like a conceited way. I'm not over here tooting my own horn. But something that I did love about this readathon was how frequently things were changing and that's why I let the ghosts have a lot of they were able to do what they wanted to do for the most part. And Leah's like, let's take all the points away. No more victim picks. And I was like, oh, you're mad about dying, because it was like she died and immediately she was like, here's the rule.
That was her one and only thing she did, and then she just disappeared.
Yeah. But because of those, it was like, it forced me to read. So like the 80s one, I had no intention whatsoever of reading something that was set within the 80s because I didn't have anything. But I ended up finding one on Kindle Unlimited that was I knew I needed to do a cozy because I was in a mood for it. And it was the Totally Killer Wedding. And it's a series, and I think there's only 4 books in it, but it also had a blue cover, like, what are the odds? It was cute. It was one book I would have never, ever in my life picked it up. But because of that, I'm like, I actually want to read this series now. And it was a pretty quick read, but it was cute. And so that's something that I appreciate as the person who, like, I knew a lot of this stuff that was coming, but I tried very, very hard to not plan ahead of time. Mm-hmm. And things like that I loved. And so I'm like, man, I could only imagine what it was like on y'all's end when it's like constant. It was constantly changing.
I thought the translation one was clever. Like read a translated read. Because I saw some people actually doing that and I was impressed.
Yeah. I was like, I don't have the mental capacity to figure that out just yet. Because I'd have to research, like, is this one translated? Was it not? Like, I could go read The Chestnut Man again, and that would have got me a lot of points, but that thing's thick, and I'm not going to do it. So I just didn't. But there were a lot of people who did. Okay, Sonia, that was a really good question.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I was like, I probably should have interacted with you guys more. I'm sorry. Did you read? No? Okay, let's go on.
I'm just nosy.
I love it.
I'm just nosy.
Well, we're going to go through a couple more comments because we're quite behind on comments. Hello, sweet Katie. How are you? If you guys didn't know, by the way, Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails, she officially launched her author Instagram. So make sure you guys go check it out. I can't remember exactly what it is. So Katie, if you're still here, put it somewhere in here. But you can also find it on her Instagram for her YouTube, and then she'll take it to you, the author page. Yeah.
Oh, how exciting. Congrats.
Basically read full time. I don't work and my kids are grown, so I can listen to audiobooks all day whenever I want, whatever I'm doing.
Oh man, I wish. Oh man.
Right? I'm like,
all I do is work.
Basically, you have my life.
Yeah. Okay. It was not a goal. Okay, so she was talking about the 31 books in 31 days. But by the 12th day of the month, I was at 12 books, and I just went, why not? I'll never do it again. I love that so much.
That's really incredible.
You actually binge filmed 4 videos today. Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm trying to film a few videos for June so I can spend a lot of time writing. Yeah, I have tried to do that before, and then I hated my life. So I decided, doing that again. If I don't have enough time to put something out there, you guys just aren't getting a video. I'm sorry. That's just
I think the max
my voice.
I by like 2 videos, I'm like done. I'm like, I cannot do any more than 2 videos at a time.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the video for me. Like a vlog takes a lot out of me. But like just a sit and talk, a sit and chatter, those aren't too bad. Or something that like I'm planning to do I have a 1993 spring summer Sears catalog. I'm going to do a flip through it. That won't bother me so much because it's like I'm not fully on. It's not like I'm on stage and performing. It's just kind of like, okay, you're you know.
And there's probably not a lot of research to that. Like the ones that I don't have to research ahead of time.
Yes.
Like if I'm doing an unboxing or something, it's, you know what I mean? As opposed to doing a new release where I've had to, even before I film, an hour, 2 hours of gathering the information and getting it all together. That, you know,
things like hauls and unhauls and stuff. Those
my
are
least favorite is wrap ups, and I am dreading doing the wrap up for this month.
I hate wrap ups so much. Wrap ups are the worst. I've tried. It's been like an ongoing thing on my channel, trying to figure out a wrap up style that works for me because I've tried every single different kind of wrap up style that you could possibly imagine. And I just I hate doing it.
Yeah.
I would like to do vlogs. I would like to do reading vlogs, but honestly, those are some of the worst viewed videos on my channel. And I cannot justify the time that goes into a reading vlog and the time it takes to edit a reading vlog if nobody's going to flip and watch it. So
and it's funny because everyone says they love those, but they don't watch them.
And I love them. I watch them. Those are some of my favorite. That's some of my favorite content to consume.
I do like them.
And so when people say, "Oh, I love reading vlogs," blah blah blah, but then they don't watch it, I'm just I'm not gonna do this.
So this is for all you guys out there. Go watch all the vlogs, guys. They're so much work.
They are legitimately they are a lot of work. I don't think people realize how much work a reading vlog is.
Yes.
Or even if it's just like a day in a life vlog too, where you're doing something different, or I mean, that's more on my channel. I don't really do reading vlogs, but usually I will do some sort of adventure and then kind of tie it in with reading or whatever. And they are forever. And you're right. I mean, they're like my least viewed videos. It's kind of okay, making the balance there.
But it's almost the easiest way, in my opinion, to wrap up stories because you're able to sit down in real time and talk about your feelings. Whereas by the end of the month, I have forgotten everything about the books that I have read at the beginning of the month. I'll even forget that I have read a book in that month. I'll be like, oh, this was this month that I read this book. It feels like forever ago that I read this book. So, and I don't feel like I have the coherent thoughts by that point to actually discuss them. Yeah. So I've wrap up to my least favorite thing to film ever.
I think this month I'm going because of the amount of books I think I'm gonna just do cozy mysteries and my top 5 romance, list the other ones in the description, but just do the video talking about here are my top 5 romances, here are my top 5 cozy mysteries of May, because to talk about all of them, that's a lot.
Thankfully, a lot of the books that I read this month were for other reading projects, 3 different reading projects. And so I'm not going to wrap up books that I already talk about in those projects. So I'll be like, I read these. You can go watch the vlog if you want to know my thoughts on these books.
That's what I did.
Yeah. I went ahead and I planned because I knew there was going to be a lot of books this month. I didn't know there was going to be that many, but I knew there was going to be a lot. And so I planned on I broke it up and I literally have it where it's like a 3-day thing. That way it's here, because I know myself as well. I'm like, by the time I get done with talking about 10 books, I mean, you guys have seen what it's like whenever my brain is tired and it's it doesn't make sense. I forget to tell you what the book even consisted of. Sometimes it's oh, I read this book and I tell them the premise of a different one. Yeah, that sort of stuff. And so it's don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to them. So I just broke it up over a couple of days. But I do have to say that Amy Marie is the vlog queen. I love Amy's vlogs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, and I feel like you do it so well that the more that I watched it, I felt like you gave me permission, even though you didn't say Maddie, do this. It was just watching you do it. You gave me permission to say hey, you don't have to sit there and get every minute detail of you reading this book. Or it could be hey, I started this book and I didn't even tell you I was going to start it, but here's my thoughts on it so far. And that was world changing for me, because it took away from me wanting to read, because I kept feeling well, I forgot to get footage of this or something like that.
Yeah.
And to see you be oh, by the way, here's 2 books I just started reading and I didn't tell you at the beginning.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. And so, yeah, a huge fan.
I'm a big mood reader, so I try to keep it I like doing the TBRs with games and stuff, or a theme, an arc reading vlog or something, but I still try to keep it flexible. So because if it's not fun for me, then it's not going to be fun in the video for other people.
Right. Yeah.
And I love to bake, so that's just fun.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely learned if I'm not enjoying making the video, then I'm not going to want to make I'm not going to make it. And why am I doing it? And I agree. It definitely shows if it feels well, this was very forced, and where she hated every minute of it. So this vlog that I'm about to do, I think about that and I'm part of it I hated only because of the books I was reading, and because the September house was getting me. It got me something fierce, but I still think it was I still enjoyed that, and so I think that it might turn out better. But I don't know. Yeah, I agree. The wrap up, I'm not excited about editing the wrap up.
Yeah.
But
I actually like this idea that AJ Burgess posted about how this creator Chantel reads all day. She wraps her vlogs are vlogish style. Like she sits down and she wraps up each book, and then like as she reads them, and then she compiles it into one. So it's not like actually like a reading vlog, but it's kind of a blend of formal wrap up with reading vlog style, if that makes sense.
I was going to say too, I think Jules started wrapping up weekly and then compiling it all together at the end of the month for her wrap up.
I tried to do that. I tried to do that for like a month or two, but then I found that kind of going back to what we were talking about, how like I can only film so much in a day before I'm completely over it. So like I can only film on the weekends because I'm work Monday through Friday. And so I'm sitting down to film and I'm filming my other videos. And the last thing I want to do is wrap up books that I've read. I'm like, no. So that idea got tossed out really, really quickly. I think I did it for 1 month and then I was like, not even this is working for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think that is a good idea though. And I forgot Chantel does do that because I've seen hers. And I liked it. I just sometimes forget like, oh yeah, you were supposed to talk about those last 5 books you read, but you didn't do that. So
that's even my thing with vlogs. Like I'll start a vlog and it's just like some of my other things in life. Like I'll start it and then like on Monday and then like on Friday, I haven't went back and done, like no check-in. And I finished like with none.
Oh yeah, it was your vlog.
I'm totally like the Friends reference where it's like she got the diary and she's like, "Dear diary, I'm gonna write in you every day." And like that is
yeah.
When you did your fall vlog, when you were like with your sweater and stuff, and then that Monday you called me and you was like, "Oh, I totally did this vlog. I can't wait to do it." Blah, blah, blah. And then like the following Monday, you're like, "I haven't done anything else."
nothing.
Because I was like, "How's your vlog going?" And she's like, "Oh, I didn't do anything else."
Not a single entry. Nope. No.
Well, I feel like there are several people because Jen also said, I can't figure out how to make my vlogs interesting because I don't do things. I see reading vlogs where people bake, Amy, and go on day trips and all the fun stuff. And here's my thoughts on this book. Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I think that there's really no right way to do a reading vlog. I think it's just like, I think there's something like reading vlogs and then there's like vlog style wrap ups. So like if you're kind of doing vlog style wrap ups where you're just sitting down and talking about your thoughts on a book, like that's one way to do it. And then there's those others where you're just like going through your day and, showing baking and all of these other things that you're doing. My concern with that, or not concern, but my frustration with that is simply that, because I try to do that too, because people always say, they want an equal combination of B-roll and reading wrap ups, right? But like, I just forget to take out my camera and I don't want to have to worry about taking out my camera for everything and it's like setting it up and stuff and doing all this. I cannot be bothered to do that. I just can't.
I always try to do mine thematically. Like if I'm reading a bunch of baking books, then I'm going to do a lot of baking in the vlog. If I read a bunch of animal books, I went to a farm and filmed a bunch of animals and made references. I always try to go, but that's who I am organically. I'm very a theme person, mood person. That's me. So I agree exactly with what you said. I don't think there's a right or a wrong. I think a lot of it, the successful ones, the people, it's just how, you are portrayed to your audience and how your audience responds to you. And, and vlogs are investments sometimes. Usually the average vlog is 30-45 minutes. That's an investment for some, usually wrap up are not as long.
I think styles.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I like both styles. I watch Amy's and love hers when she's going to baking and doing some of the other stuff. I love Sonia's when she's out and about. And I watch people who just purely show themselves reading clip by clip by clip. And it's usually very thematic, which is what Sonia was saying is, I'm reading all thriller books or, whatever. And I enjoy those just as much. It's just a different kind of style.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like you really also have to be invested in the person and be interested in their life too to watch. I've had people tell me that they won't watch reading vlogs just because they don't like don't care about the life stuff, you know. They just want to hear my thoughts on the books.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just a preference for people, you know what I mean? So like I watch if I'm I don't know if you can hear that, but my dog is being so dramatic right now. He's like sitting there whining on the couch because he has not been taken on a walk.
I heard, but I was like, I don't know what that is.
He's like,
Right.
Oliver, stop being dramatic. You're gonna make people think I beat you. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, if I follow a creator, like I pretty much am always going to watch almost everything that they post. And so especially reading vlogs. So I definitely take the time to watch the reading vlogs, and I watch everything sped up. So like if you have a 45-minute vlog, it's maybe going to take me like 30 something minutes to watch it. So
yeah, I do the same thing. And then I do the if you have, why can't I think of words? Premium on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I
No
you can get like the 3-speed too. And I'm like, some of you guys who talk slow, you now talk regular at 3-speed. And so,
speed.
yeah. I did just see this, by the way. So just for clarification, the sleuths cannot submit bonus points unless books are black, or we cannot submit any books that aren't black to the end of the readathon. So basically what it says is you guys were allowed to submit books for bonus points that were green or they had nature on the cover. Well, now it's black or nature on the cover, or both. Does that make sense? Did I explain that one? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
or you can submit a different color, but you just would forfeit those points.
Yeah,
right?
You can still submit one that was green. You're just not going to get the bonus points for the green. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what Sonia showed was a really great one, the Twilight something Garden.
Twilight Garden, Sarah Nisha Adams.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I don't even know where we left off because
I can't imagine why.
So sorry, guys. We are so far behind. So I'm gonna just kind of I saw this, so this made me happy. You started watching Doctor Who. Well, hello, Katie. I love Doctor Who. In case you didn't know that, I have a special edition of one of his books, and I loved it.
Which is your favorite Doctor?
David Tennant.
10. Yeah.
Same.
Okay, but can we talk about how that episode with Rose, oh my gosh, was like the saddest episode in all of television?
We cannot.
I cannot handle the trauma. I cannot handle the trauma. No, thank you.
No, it's not the Rose one that got me. It was the Donna forgetting.
That one was so much harder.
Destroyed
that was sad to me, but I just loved the relationship between Rose and the Doctor so much that I just was like, I was devastated. I was like sobbing. I could not function after that episode of television.
Yeah.
I had one little tiny tear for that, but I'm telling you, I had to talk to the psychiatrist after the Donna forgetting.
Because Donna grew, and she was like a terrible person when she first joined, and then she became this super nice, like compassionate, empathetic person, and then she had to forget, and you're like,
forget.
Which if we just spoiled this for
gosh,
I'm so sorry.
I haven't watched any of the newer seasons. Like I stopped at Capaldi and then I didn't go any further than that. But like 9 and 10 will always have a very special place in my heart for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so sorry. I saw that and I was like, oh, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Let me see. So
Oh, I did check out the first season of Golden Girls from the library, so I'm gonna start watching that. I thought today and Sonia.
You've never seen Golden Girls? Oh my!
No. I'm really, really bad with pop culture. I binge watch the same like 10 shows and nothing else.
That's fair.
I'm totally Dorothy.
Okay, the pilot is not what it's all. I mean, the pilot is the pilot.
Okay.
Make sure you go further than the pilot. But the pilot is good. But make sure
I promise I will watch at least.
I'm excited for you too.
Well, especially because in the pilot, there's a character that only lasts one episode.
That's not
one episode in the entire show. And 2, Sophia is completely different. Like, I mean, in terms of like her looks and like the way they make her in the first episode, they must have just totally were like, this didn't work. Let's change, because it's so different moving forward.
Yes.
So
you're gonna love it.
I was going to say, Maddie, you can also throw up the comments.
I can't wait for
on
you to
screen.
watch it.
I can. You're right.
If that makes it easier for you.
Well, I just
I
want
know we're
anybody to
behind.
feel like I'm like, we're just going to ignore yours because that's not my goal.
We're just chatting too
Now
much.
I don't even know where I got.
We are just done reading.
We don't even want to read your comments. We're so
We don't
done
even want to
reading.
read your comments.
It is a lot more reading, guys.
Read them yourself.
Read them.
You're fine. You're fine.
Read them yourself.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so there was a lot of people saying that they read a lot of books, which I think is wonderful. And then like we have Anonymous said that they read 26 books, trying for one more and a few graphics. That's really cool. Tara said, I need to get outside too. That's funny. Let me see. Oh, Kirsten, you joined. Sorry. Hello. I don't know how to show it back over here. Or I guess over there for you guys, but I see yours. Corinna is here. That means the pot's going to be stirred some more.
Oh, throwing some shade at Corinna. Oh my god!
But I have to say, I adore her. She has been like my little cheerleader, and I just love her so much. She said over here, which you guys can't see, I have not been in good health for exercise this month, but I did an hour walk finishing up my audiobook. There you go. Good job.
Same.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I love this comment
So
when
jealous.
Wendy said, I have 3 daughters. And she said, bring on the estrogen, Wendy. Okay, now we're asking if that was a trick. Oh, Maddie is a superhero. Thank you. You're so sweet.
I'm going to need Wendy's address. I feel like she needs a bottle of wine.
Right. She also said this readathon taught me that there are animals in almost every book. I never thought about it before. Yep. Okay, I see Carmen, you're gonna let me know about Nat Marvelous. Those of you who are participating in the Amazing Readathon, what teams are you on? Pathfinder.
Gale Weavers.
I saw a lot of people say they were on Pathfinder.
Because that's the she implemented a new team this year as kind of like a go at your own pace, kind of do whatever you want. So that's the non-competitive team.
Yeah.
So if you're on any of the other 4 teams, you're part of the competitive readathon. So a lot of people are choosing the Pathfinders this go around, so they can just kind of take it easier.
Gotcha. I have to say, I had every intention of signing up for that last year, and then I kept looking at the rules, and I was like, there's a lot. There's a lot going on there, so I just didn't.
I would say like it's definitely more chill and easier to understand and follow than Escape the Readathon. So if you've participated in Escape the Readathon and you thought that was just way too much, I would say the Amazing Readathon is a step down from that for sure. It really is pretty simple to follow, like once you get started. And you don't even have to do like, people get really competitive about it. They get really, really into it. But essentially the whole thing is it's based on the Amazing Readathon. You're traveling, or Amazing Race, and you're traveling to different locations. There are 10 locations and there are 10 different prompts associated with those locations. And you can just choose to read 10 books for the 10 locations. And that's the extent of it. But there's also like sightseeing prompts. So like once you get there, you read the book and you're still there, you can like sightsee by reading other books with other prompts. And like, that's the basis of it. And it's not crazy. And you can just kind of do as little or as much as you want within your team. And I think that's why the Pathfinders now exist, is because especially coming off of Escape the Readathon, which is just ending today. Like I think a lot of people are just kind of wanting a more chill option.
Yeah. I could absolutely see that. Like I said, I wanted to do a readathon this next month, and I was like, no, because I'm tired. And I think there's a lot more going on in my head this month, obviously, than if I was just to participate. But even then, like that, it's a lot. So, okay. And then Tara, by the way, talking about the September house, she said has one of the funniest ghosts though, moving dishes. It's so fun. It's very true. So there's this one ghost who, she's like a servant, but in September she like just moving stuff, and the woman's like, well, I can't find the tea, so I guess I need to start going and looking in the bathroom cupboards or stuff like that. And it's just like she stacks up all the pillows in the middle of the floor one day just because. It's like super normal. I don't know, it was pretty funny. Okay, we had somebody I tried The Resurrectionist and DNF and The Last Murder at the End of the World. It was okay. They're both not my usual genres. And see, I really liked The Last Murder at the End of the World. I haven't read The Resurrectionist. I'm interested in it, and I had every intention of reading it this month, but honestly, I could not find an audiobook for it, and this just sounds super lazy, and it is. It was thicker than another book that I had to also eyeball read, so I just chose the smaller book. I was like, it's going to take a while. I'm fine.
Snicker only goes for Snickers, not for books, not Readathon.
Betsy also DNF The Resurrectionist. I tried, but I so bored. I had heard several people say that it was a pretty boring book. But like I said, I didn't really read a lot of it, so I don't know. Tara wants to go back and try to read it. Where are we?
Jeannie Riley.
Okay. And then they're talking about Throne of Glass, just so you guys know. I know nothing about Throne of Glass and have no intention to.
Oh, well, come on, slide into our DMs. Me and Wendy, we've got this.
There you go. Yeah. You need help. Anybody other than us mystery lovers. Kayla asked, how long will you guys be sprinting? I don't know. We have been on here for 2 hours and we've done a 30-minute sprint, guys.
Didn't you know this was a talking sprint?
It just happens. Especially, I feel like when there's this many people in this sprint, like as hosts, we do just tend to talk a lot. And luckily,
Well, it's a big hen party. We all just get together and chatter. I mean,
it's true. And we're all tired. Our brains are mush. So it's like all we can do is just talk and listen, And
I went to bed at 6 o'clock last night. Like slept through the night, legit went to bed at 6 o'clock last night.
I love that.
I love that.
I mean, I woke up about 4:30, but you think I hauled my butt out of bed? No, laid there anyway. Was not getting up. Was not happening.
Betsy said, don't worry, Maddie. We're just here to chill and have a good time talking and hanging out. That's great because you have been to several of my sprints, and this tends to be what happens when we get this many people. Is like, hey, we're going to read, and we do a sprint and talk a whole lot.
Tiff, it's not just us.
No.
It's not just us.
Yeah, so if you ever feel like, man, our sprints, like we're not doing enough sprints, just think, oh, well, Maddie, we're on hers.
Read Tara's that she just put.
After this month, or no, I was planning on reading while all y'all talk, but then I heard the points and said, never mind. No, don't say that. I heard the points.
It's all by average, Tara.
It's averaged.
And you still have time. There's 4 more hours. And
No, I need all the masterminds to have the same kind of attitude.
Give up.
Yeah, all of you go to bed. You guys
Masterminds,
go
y'all
to
go to bed at
bed.
6 o'clock.
I mean,
Just please take yourself to bed.
This lose have 21,000 points. So
Yeah, I
think
give up.
they could take a break,
But
Y'all
we have the
should
most
go to bed.
people, I think, so it'll
Yeah,
drop.
we have more people. And that
y'all do.
takes us
At
out.
first, I was like, there are so many people joining the sleuths that I was like, I feel like we're just going to have this little tiny team. But luckily, we ended up getting quite a few more on both teams. And I was shocked.
I mean, you have Amy, you had Nancy Drew guest star. I mean, come on.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. Amy has a whole flock, and I love it. It's because you're worth it. Several people said they're doing Pathfinders. Don't remind me that the alarm is going off in less than 6 hours. Sarah, go to bed.
Seriously, go to bed.
Yeah. Please take care of yourself.
Love you, and we're super thankful you were here.
Get you
But
some
go to bed,
sleep, baby.
Go to bed. Yeah.
And
Get you some sleep.
who hosts the amazing Readathon?
Bree from 4 Paws in a Book.
Yeah. So, Brittany, I got you two confused so many times because 4 Paws and Rescues and Reads. I would just get it confused, and I'm like, I don't know why, because I know you guys were separate people. So for so many times, I'm like, nope, that's not who I meant. Masterminds are reading slowly, but reading. Just saying, that's fair. And that at all masterminds start speed reading now, just for Brittany.
So yeah, okay. So if
I think Betsy likes business.
so basically, if the masterminds win, I get the credit for that, right? Because I have spurred
hatred.
this
Yeah, they just
this
ended it.
hatred.
Okay, then okay, Brittany, we need to and just tell them
Just
about
mind
the
your business.
business.
Listen, feel the vengeance. Use it.
It makes me think of Pitch Perfect when she's like, it just fuels my hate fire.
It just fuels. They all, Tara, Betsy, Sam,
Tara pulls my book back out.
they have it all out for me. They're just using that. It's fueling their hate fire.
Baby, all you're doing is just throwing the accelerant all over this.
And
Well,
I
to
was
make you guys feel any better, I'm not going to get this book read because it's a 15-hour audiobook. And even at 3 speed, I don't have 5 hours. So,
well, if we would actually sprint, I would be able to listen to the rest of my audiobook.
Baby, you have
I will sprint for you.
No, I have to go walk the doggo because he's about to riot. So.
Yeah, lose his mind. Wow.
Maddie, does
Yes.
anybody know who the mole is?
I had to figure that out.
Why?
I'm like, wait,
No,
that's not the right
I have
way.
been nothing but loyal to the lassies.
I don't believe it.
Wow.
Well, we didn't actually have a mole.
Be on the same team.
I know.
Okay. I don't want people to think that was the whole thing because I'm
That-
like, no, we really
I
did it.
know.
And if anybody was the mole, it would be me because I do know all the information.
That's true.
But I tried to be very fair, just so everybody knows. I made sure to share as much information with Amy and Tiffany as I possibly could in a format that they would understand it and not overwhelm them as well, because they are only here to help, And so just so you guys know, it wasn't.
Yeah, I know there was no mole. I was totally
I
kidding.
was just over here existing, and all of a sudden, I was existing.
Tiffany's over
And
here.
everybody, it's
Listen.
Whitney.
As I only have one more day to cause chaos.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sometimes when you stir that pot, that spoon smacks you back. You might want to watch it.
I'm just saying, y'all call me the pot stirrer. Okay. There are people that are way more pot stirrers in the group.
Well, I would say you're the pot stirrer mostly for the lassies,
Yeah.
whereas the masterminds just has a slew of them. So
I am innocent compared to Wendy here when it comes to the lassies and stuff. I'm just sitting back minding my own business. Except when it
True.
comes to Tara and Sam.
Wendy's the front runner for
Tara always starts it. Okay.
Sure, I know.
Okay,
Oh,
no, that's
no.
true. I believe that. Tara does always start it. See, I'm just reacting.
It was just existing.
I'm just reacting.
I do have to say how funny it is, though, that when you look at the teams and the people who are saying certain things, you're like, that makes sense, because it's there's mostly pot stirring happening with the masterminds, and then you have the occasional lassies who are like, we're gonna put you back in line, and then you have the sleuths who are just over there eating their popcorn, and they're like,
I know, the sleuths.
We're Scooby Dooing.
That's
We're just
true.
never
I never
switching
saw
going.
loose pot stirring.
Yeah, the sleuths were not even having any part of it.
Well, and it was funny.
Because Jessica Fletcher doesn't have to stir a pot. She already knows what
Well,
she's
and it was
doing.
No,
so
Miss
funny
Marple's
because
at
the
class.
masterminds were putting
already
up
did
some crazy, including some crazy memes. And then Amy always Scooby Doo to the rescue, or the penguin. The penguin is my favorite.
I feel like such a fraud when I go on the hit list banter because I'm like, I don't have banter. I don't know how to do this. That's not my love language with people. And I have a younger sister, but I don't have brothers or people who really get into banter. So I didn't really learn that growing up. And then I'm in here and I'm like,
I have a comfort.
what do I say?
it's so cute. It was perfect.
I'm with you, Amy. I am like that. I have to have a comfort zone. Except if I know you really well. Now with Tiffany, I know her really well, so I can banter with her. But other people, a lot of people in the chat, I know them from my channel, if they comment or whatever, but I don't feel comfortable riding my broom around them just yet. They don't need to see all that, But they don't need to see the witch behind the curtain. But her, I can pot stir all day because that's our love language. We grew up in the 80s and the
That's fair.
90s.
That's fair.
That's so
I
funny.
have loved it. I have loved it. I feel like I don't feel comfortable saying all the things I want to say because I'm afraid people are going to be like, she's creating this and look at all this chaos that she's doing. I was just nervous, but I'm a very sarcastic person in general. And so I was like, if I could ever find just the perfect meme, I will. And so that's whenever they had killed their own, and I was like, here's the family, and they're all like drama, and yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to slyly say things like that, but then I'm just going to leave the conversation. And then I was like, eventually Wendy will pop in and she'll take care of it.
I mean, I love a GIF war. It's the best.
Yeah, they're
It's like the most fun ever.
Okay, I love Carmen's comment. I just
Sonya's
almost
trouble on a
guffawed and
stick.
died. Yeah, that's my drag name.
Love
Sweet Trouble
it.
on a Stick. I was gonna say stripper name, but that would give you nightmares. So we'll do that. We'll say that.
Sonya, every time, almost
Yes.
every time you've been on a sprint with me, somehow hookers or strippers come out.
That's true.
You know, it's part of my DNA.
Oh
I don't know. You can't call me sweet something on a stick and me not make some sort of comment there. Come on.
Just
Honestly,
ask
cute
Sugar
kitty.
Britches about Sonya. Oh my goodness. And I always say
Lord.
sarcasm is my love language. That is very true. And that is extremely true for me. If I am ever
too.
just like picking on you, it's because I absolutely adore you.
I
And
love
it's
you.
like, to me,
Yeah.
I'm also like, that means I had to remember things about you to make fun of
Mhm.
you about, you know, and like, that's kind of a love
Right.
language thing. But if you don't know that about me, then you're like, she is a mean person. Like, she says she's sweet.
Over here giving me trouble about being a hooker. So yeah, of course you love me.
If you wouldn't bring it up every time you're here,
I did not. I just said stripper, not hooker. That's a
you
whole
just
other
said, like,
thing.
you can't let
There's
her
a
know.
Corinna
transaction
brought
that
up the
happens there
pleasure
that
seeking
just
comment again.
Oh my god!
Let's just go back to that.
That was so awkward. I don't know if anyone else was here for that. That was super uncomfortable.
I think I missed it. I missed it.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Okay, so I was talking about this show that I really like to watch, and I was like, okay, so this is my, you know, and once it gets past like 7:30, my brain just stops. It doesn't function well whatsoever. And so I was trying to remember the word, and I was like, what was it? What was it? Like pleasure seeking, pleasure seeker, secret. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, my secret pleasure.
guilty
And then
pleasure.
they
Her
were like,
secret pleasure show, I think is what she said.
that's exactly what I said. Yeah. Secret pleasure.
Sounds
show. She's like,
sketchy.
They call that porn.
guilty pleasure? And I was like,
I don't know what kind of channel you're watching.
where's Sonya?
We don't get that. I no. I don't know what kind of
Encore
channel you're
After Dark.
watching. I read
In
my
case you
smut,
guys were
thank
wondering,
you.
it is 1,000-pound sisters. It is not inappropriate. Okay. I'm the one who doesn't read the smut. So I'm like, why did I say that?
I'm sure there's some of that on
But
OnlyFans
that's what
somewhere.
makes
So.
it funnier, is because we know this about you.
But and then Corinna was like, it's okay. Just keep going. Like, you're fine. We knew what you meant. You look like an idiot, but we knew what you meant. Maybe I just appreciate that comment because I never remember words, or I always use the wrong ones. Yep, that's me to a T. It's fine. Where are we at? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember it because it keeps getting brought up.
By Corinna.
Yes. I feel like Hannah, because the first sprint that I ever watched of hers, she was talking about how she was going to eat a oh no, I'm going to do the same thing, a rhubarb pie, and she was like, I thought it was this metal, and I was like, why would they make a pie out of metal? And she was meaning like what the metal version. I don't remember.
The rebar.
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 Yeah. She was like,
Rebar.
she got those two confused, and I just thought that was the funniest thing ever.
That is
So
funny.
anytime we would talk about pie, I was like, do you mean rebar? And she's like, stop it. So yeah, that was a good one. Anyways, I don't think.
Do you know the Sugar Britches? Do you know the Sugar Britches story,
No.
Maddie? Okay, so your friend Sonya here. I was doing a little vlog and went to the coffee shop, and I go to the same coffee shop quite often. It's just like a little drive up, booth sort of thing. And it's not like a chain, but it's pretty, there's a lot of localized. pulled up and he's like, "How are you doing today?" And I always order the same thing so he knows, you know. And he's a cute little kid, but I mean, I'm not shopping, thanks. And I'm like, I was like, "It's cold out here, sugar britches," and I'm like, "Where did it come from?" And so, and the look on his face, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "I am so sorry. I should not be let out in public. This was not my day. I didn't get the medication I was supposed to have. I am so sorry." And he's like dying laughing, and there's another one in the booth. They're all laughing, and I was like, "Look, I'm over a certain age. My cornbread ain't done in the middle of the day, so just give me my coffee." And so when I was filming, I mentioned it because I was laughing. I was like, "I have never in my life called anybody sugar britches. Where did that come from?"
I love it. And I also love that this whole time Brittany is just being swaddled by a cat.
Yeah.
When Archibald wants snuggles, Archibald wants snuggles.
Yeah.
Like he just like,
Yes.
look, I'm not even, he's just planting himself here.
I love it.
Oh, he needs to come up to Auntie Sonia. I snuggle him.
He,
Like,
He's so cute. I love orange cats.
Yeah.
and now there's like, okay, but now there's hair, like literally hair all over me. Okay, Archie baby.
you chose that life, okay?
I did choose that life. Yeah. All right, we gotta go. I gotta go walk forever anyway. Yeah. Don't put
Okay,
your butthole on the internet. Not unless you're gonna make me money.
Here we go to OnlyFans
Only
again.
pause.
Holy fuck.
Only pause.
Oh gosh.
Brittany, if you're dropping off, thank you so much. If
Thank
you want
you
to hang out,
guys.
yeah, I'm not sure how much longer we're gonna go. I'm gonna try and talk about a couple comments and then we'll probably head out. But I'm so thankful that you were a part of our team.
I'm free next April. I'm just saying.
Hey, I will be hitting everybody up, and it's going to be sooner rather than later because I have a lot of stuff I have to plan. So just be on the lookout. But
Okay.
I will have a week where I will be out. Laura and I are going on a trip for a week.
I love it.
I will probably read, but I plan to sightsee more. So
That's fine. You'll be on a different team. I don't mind.
Right. Oh, she's already got that planned.
She's like, for sure, she's not
Like
going to be on
what
my
week
team.
exactly? We're gonna make that a real good week for everybody.
Amy, you know how I binge through series.
That's
I will
true.
make it up.
That's
I
true.
know.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Brittany, yeah, go walk your dog. That way he doesn't get even more mad at us. But thank you so much for being here. And I'll let you know tomorrow. We're going to know.
Tomorrow. All right. All right, guys. Behave
Bye.
yourselves. Bye.
So I do have to say the secret pleasure is apparently now Maddie's Rickroll. I don't know what a Rickroll is.
Me either.
Maddie's Rick.
But Karina, I already thought we were
Aw.
friends.
Sonia's friends with everybody, and I love it. I love it. So
I do genuinely love people until they make me mad. So, there we go.
I think that's fair.
I love you until you're a jerk. When you're a jerk, it's kind of like, okay, I love you because you're God's children, but don't be coming up at my door.
That's fair. And I'm like super, super loyal to my friends. And so like you come at my friend, well, now I don't care how much I liked you. If you talk bad about my friend, I don't like you at all anymore. Like you could have been the kindest person to me, but yeah. So
Yeah, I grew up in the Goodbye Earl era. Yeah.
that's fair.
And some people have forgot about that lesson and they need to learn it.
I do love that comment, or Carmen said, yeah, and Sonia shared that with the world, your whole story, which is true.
When you're me, you do so many stupid things anyway.
It
The whole world
happens.
just knows.
It happens. I feel like I could definitely tell you some embarrassing stories. I can't quite remember them at this moment, but I have had so many just this last couple of months. And one of them obviously was on the internet. That's great. A Rickroll is when you randomly send someone the link to Rick Astley's song "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Oh,
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
I did not know that. Thank you, Jeannie.
My in real life best friend is Sonia with an I, but she pronounces it Sonia. Did I say that correct? And
Sonia.
my favorite boss is
Yeah.
Sonia. That's fun.
that happens a lot. Phonetically, it's more song, but I won't get into teaching of that because I'm not on payroll today. But it really depends on what your family calls you. I'm from Middle Missouri. They call me Sonia.
Yeah.
Here I am. I mean, they call me worse,
Yeah.
but whatever.
So I have a half sister, and her name is spelled Andrea Andrea, but she goes by Andrea. And guys, when I was little and she told me that name, it would not compute in my head. So I was constantly like, Andrea. Every time, Andrea. And still to this day, I'm like, I could be wrong. And she could probably hate me because that's the only way I could say her name, Andrea.
My maiden name is Portell, Portell. And so anytime we would have any sort of like singing competitions or something, I was Sonia Portal. And I was like, how did I become the sous chef? Sonia Portell, not hard. But it was always Sonia Portal. And I'm like, oh, good gravy.
You could have had to. Go ahead, Amy.
So when I was a kid, I knew someone named Amber, and I couldn't say their name, so I would call them Hamber, which then turned into Hamburger, and I felt so bad. They were like a kid too, but I look back at that, and I'm like, I hope I didn't give them a complex or something. I was trying, but I couldn't get out the A sound.
Yeah. I had a friend named Faith, and Piper, when she was younger, she could not say Faith for the life of her, and she would always say fish. And so she would just be like playing with her. She's like, fish! And people were just like, why would she call her fish? And just fish every time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And so it just became a running joke. Like, yeah, you're a fish. I'm sorry.
That's better than one of my daughters. One of my best friends, her name is Heather, and she couldn't say it, so she would call her Heavy.
Oh.
And they, to this day, they think that's the funniest thing ever that she would call her Heavy.
Oh my goodness.
You should probably think of something else to say.
Yeah. Yeah. So my mom, her like grandma name is Boo. And when she said that that's what she wanted, I was like, Mom, this could go bad because kids, they don't tend to just like, they don't say boo. It's like you have to really teach them. And she's like, nah, it'll be fine. It's super simple. No, ma'am. For like 2 years, Piper she'd call her boob all the time. And so she'd just be hollering for her boob the whole time. And I'm like,
I have so many jokes,
like,
but this is, I'm not saying.
You can't say that, honey. It's boo. Yeah, where's boob? Nope, she picked it. So
I don't think I could have kids. I think the secondhand embarrassment would just
Right?
I'd just die right then and there. Admire all of you.
Yeah.
They
embarrass you all the time.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have kids and they embarrass you all the time.
I feel really bad because I mean, I really had no idea. And I still think about this and feel incredibly bad. But I'm like, why didn't this person ever say anything? But I had a boss who did not like me. But nothing ever happened between us. And I get along with most everybody. I'm kind of like Sonia until you do me wrong. I mean, I can talk to anybody, get along with it, and I'm like, I don't know. We never had a problem. She, after 11 years, was leaving. And she's like, walks up to me and she's like, I know that you pronounced my name wrong all those years. Her name was Dawn, Dawn. And she said I pronounced it Dawn, like the male version. And that she thought in her head that I did it on purpose. And still to this day, I don't hear the difference. And it was not intentional. She hated me for 11 years over that. And I feel incredibly bad. But at the same time, I'm like, she was a therapist. Why did you not approach me and say to me, hey, you can't do, I mean, that of all things, when she came to me and she was like shaking, she's like, I know that this was, and I'm like, that's why you hated, I was so upset. I'm like, that's why you hated me for 11 years? Like,
I think it's her crayon box missing a color.
And I still don't hear the difference, but I think about that all the time. So when somebody's female's like named Dawn, Dawn, I don't even want to say it because apparently I say it wrong.
You. I didn't know there was a difference either. I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either.
No.
I don't know. Don and D.
Dawn.
I can't even try to say it differently.
Dawn, right? Like it still comes out the same. Dawn.
Yeah.
O-N and A-W-N are the same pronunciation. She's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really bad with phonics, so she would have absolutely hated me. She would have. No.
Oh.
Anyways, I get called Mary a lot, and it's like that's fine, because I guess like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Mari, which to me is very weird. But I did have a boss who how did she say my name? She said it so weird. She called me Maudie. Yeah, because she was like, well, you spell it like that, so it's like it's Maudie, and I was like, no, it's Maddie, like Maddie son, basically Maddie. And she's like, that spells Maudie, and I was like, oh my gosh, no, it doesn't. But whatever. Yeah.
I can tell you, as someone who teaches phonetics, you're spelled correct.
Thanks. Even if I wasn't, I'm not correcting it. So,
like this is a burr in my saddle so hard. I could talk about it all night, but I'm not.
Okay, so a couple comments ago, I thought this was funny. I think Rickroll might be wrestling. I could have made that up. That was from Corinna, and then she said, "Never mind on the wrestling." April said she used to live in Fenton, Missouri.
Oh.
She thought
Very
that you
close to me.
mentioned Grant's Farm earlier tonight, but then I thought I made that up. But nope, she definitely did.
No, I did. I live in Washington, so I'm very close to Fenton.
That's awesome.
And
All St. Louis area, shoulder shrugs.
And I lived in St. Louis for 17 years before we moved. Well, I lived on the Illinois side about 10, 15 minutes from St. Louis before we moved to Florida in 2019.
Girl, you know what some shoulder shrugs is. Okay. It's a St. Louis thing.
What does it mean?
Well, Nelly, who's from St. Louis, he talks about shoulder shrugs. You know, that's a St. Louis thing. Everybody, you know, if you go anywhere out of town and you see somebody from St. Louis, it's just like a thing you do.
Oh my goodness. So speaking of going other places, I just need to tell you guys about a funny conversation that my mom had with Piper yesterday. So Piper was like, hey, what happens when people are bad and they die? And my dad was like, well, if they don't know the Lord, then they go to hell. And she was like, so they go to Canada? What? And he's like, I don't even know how to respond to this. So I was like, we don't talk about, like, I don't know how that comes up. We don't just sit there and talk about Canada. I can honestly say I think I've had 0 conversations with that child about Canada. So somewhere she figured out something about Canada. Yeah, and now she's like, I gotta get a passport because I need to go to Canada. And I was like, not if you think it's hell, you don't. I don't know.
Canada is like the complete opposite of that.
Right?
Like,
I'm like, they're the nicest
Really
people. I don't know.
Move there tomorrow if I
know.
could. Absolutely.
I don't know where it came from, but I was like, she's funny. She's funny.
Kids do, like, some of the things that, being a teacher, I should have wrote a book with all the things that popped out of kids' mouths. You know, like one of them ran up to me one day and it's like, oh, Miss Moore, you're like hugging a big comfy couch. Thanks.
Well, yeah, the way they just decide to describe things is funny. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Betsy said, kids are great at embarrassing you, and it's true. And then Jill said, but then they're teenagers and you get to embarrass them back, and that is what I am waiting for.
I had a kid run up to me. They saw me from behind and were like, Ariel! And they were so excited. And it was the day that I was wearing my Ursula t-shirt. And so when I turned around, their face was like, and I was like, oh, you know? I was like,
what are the odds of all
it was so bad. Her mom was there. Her mom helped me because I was like trying to come up with something. And I was like, we're cousins, but she says hi. And I was getting out of there. I was like, no.
Oh, that's so funny. Just so you know, because like the last sprint that we did or something, Piper had seen you and she was like, Mom, did you know that you had Ariel there? And I was like, no, that's Amy, not Ariel. And I didn't make that connection, right? I wasn't thinking like that. And she's like, no, it's Ariel. And she can sing. And I was like, Amy, as far as I know, Amy can't sing. And she was like, she can. Just ask her to do it. I was like, I'm not going to ask her to do that. But now I'm like, that makes sense. And she has been wanting to watch Little Mermaid from then on. And so it's like, I should have put that together, but I didn't until you just said that. So she does think you're Ariel.
Oh, thank
There
you.
you go.
See, Disney princess. I'm telling you, I'm thinking Disney Princess Readathon.
I have an Ariel costume.
I've got a Merida costume.
Poor Piper. So my best friend Donna, she has hair that like drags on the ground and it's super long blonde, and straight and all that. And it took her a while to not think she was actually Rapunzel. Like Piper was determined, just like she is determined with Amy. So this poor girl is going to have a rough time realizing that like, no, Disney princesses aren't real, because to her, she's like, they're around me all the time. Like I see them, they're real. Like, poor girl. No, well. Anyway, so we're talking about name pronunciation. Yep, all sorts of funny things. Maybe when hell freezes over and she heard Canada's cold. That's funny. That could be it. I don't know. I have no idea. And if you're from Canada, I'm so sorry. We don't sit there and bash you guys in this house, I promise. I mean, maybe you deserve it, but we don't do it. Yes, Disney Princess Readathon, that would be super fun. I'm not putting it together, but if you guys want to, I'll help.
There's ideas. There's ideas.
Many worse compliments than being Ariel. That's true. That's true. My year with 4 and 5-year-olds, you never know, or you never knew what they would say. Yeah, it's true. And that's why I get super embarrassed when Piper wants to go and talk to a stranger, because I'm like, nope. Nope. If you tell them they're going to hell in Canada, you're going to be in so much trouble. Like, stop it. You never know what she's going to say. Anyways, well, I don't think we're going to get to another sprint because it is already like 8:40, and I know that pumpkin time is about to happen for Tiffany. She turns into a pumpkin, for those that don't know.
I'm going to bed.
Which, by the way, if you guys need a really fun retelling sort of thing of like Cinderella, but it's actually following the evil stepsister, read How to Summon a Fairy Godmother. It is very funny, and it is very cute. So the pumpkin was what made me think about that. Anyways, so we're going to get off here. I can almost guarantee I'm not going to read and help my team. I'm so sorry. I love you guys.
Me either.
Cody is ready for bed. He has been up since since yesterday, and then he worked night shift, and then he's been up all day. So he's ready to go to bed, and he can't because I'm in here. So we're going to call it a night, but thank you guys so much. Anyone who participated with the Readathon, I am so thankful. You have no idea. I did not expect for it to be as fantastic as it was, to be honest. It went better than I could have dreamt. And I'm so thankful for all of you leaders. Seriously, thank you guys so much. Y'all have given so much to this Readathon, and that you didn't have to. And so I'm so incredibly thankful for that. I am excited to see, obviously, who the winner is, but I'm also just excited to start planning next year's. And if you guys have any suggestions or any sort of feedback, please let me know. I do want to know. I was going to create a form, but your girl's tired and I don't want to do it. So if you have feedback, you can message me on Instagram. Feel free to leave it in comments. I don't care. But I thank you guys so much. And we will see you guys tomorrow when I tell you guys who the winner is. So
thank you, Maddie, for all the work you've done for this. It's been incredible.
So welcome.
It's been
all right. And for those of you guys who are going to the what is it? The Amazing Readathon, TAR. Yeah. Good luck. I don't know which team I want to win because I'm not on it, but good luck. I don't know how you're going to read.